had to make a video, I felt like, about something. Um, as you guys know, I made a permanent cutoff uh, from all family of origin, even extended family. I made a permanent cutoff. This is what I realized. Even though I was treated terrible, uh, like no joke, like I was some leper of the family, even though I was treated terrible, it's still been difficult to to be cut off from all family for this long. It's been difficult. You would think it'd be like, yeah, all those fuckers are in my rear view mirror. They can't do shit to me anymore. But as you realize, you like, you separated. Yes, it saved you. It saved your life to separate. It did. And mine. If you separated from your family. But what you realize is like, they were all you knew. You know what I mean? That's all your mind knows. For most of your life, that's all it knew. It was the devil you knew. It was a devil. It was the devil you knew. And since going off and cutting off and being up, on a different direction, it's still hard mentally, especially. I don't know if they're like trying to reach me psychically. I don't know. Maybe, but it's been tough. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm no contact. What the hell? I should be fully good. You know what I mean? On to greener pastures. You know what I mean? I should be fully. And I've done many different things. You know what I mean? Since leaving the family of origin, I've done many different things. But no matter how much I've done away from family of origin, it's still like they have a leash around my neck. They're like, you ain't going anywhere. You thought you were free. Hell no, you're not. If we're slaves, you're a slave with us. You know what I mean? Get back here, you pet. You know what I mean? Yanking me back. You know what I mean? Like some pet. You know how psychopaths treat you like you're just a pet to them. You know what I mean? Like a court gesture pet. That's how I felt. No joke. But God knows, I don't know anything else. I'm starting to learn, like, oh, how I was treated wasn't right, But at the same time, that's all I know. That's all I thought I deserved. I'm some sacrificial lamb. You know what I mean? To be sacrificed like Jesus. But for my family, they were sacrificing me. You know what I mean? So it's weird. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be sacrificed. But God's like, no, you're not supposed to be sacrificed. So God's like messing up everything of how I thought it would go. You know what I mean? He has. This whole time I thought I was going to be sacrificed. Completely sacrificed. God's like, no. That's not the way this is going to go. Like, no joke. But I just realized my mind's struggling with it. It is. Even though you weren't treated very well, they were all you knew. You know what I mean? It's tough to permanently cut off from all family if you've never tried it. Permanently. No exception. Like they all died in a train wreck and you were forced to move on permanently. That's what you were being asked to do. By God. It's hard. I'm doing my damn best. God knows it. I've been doing my damn best to become something else besides some sacrificial scapegoat. To become something else. I'm not that anymore. I'm not that. I'm more than that. I swear. I swear. I'm not supposed to be nailed to a cross. I swear. I'm not supposed to be sacrificed for all the sins of my family. Like they made me think. God wants something else for me, alright? Ever since, you know, being cut off, like I'm like, not much is, I'm still a loner. So, since you're still a loner, your mind goes back to like what you knew growing up. You know what I mean? It does when you're alone all the time. You have nothing to replace the family of origin with. No matter how hard you try, everybody else has their own families. You don't. You're just some wanderer with no family, basically. You can pretend you're part of other people's families for a moment, but you're not. You know what I mean? Like I said, nobody, not a lot of people get a permanent cutoff from all family, extended family. Nobody gets it. They talk to their family members like every day. Every damn day, people around you are talking to their family members. Like, no joke. Not you. It's life or death if you keep them cut off. It is. You're dealing with a psychopath. You are. It's life or death. It is. God knows it as well. That's why I gotta take it seriously. I gotta harden my mind. I gotta find new strength that I never had before. I do. I have to figure out to become something more than I ever was. To keep, keep strong. You know what I mean? I do. So I'm like trying to figure it out. What do I do? I thought I'd be in better condition than I'm in right now. I thought I would be much better than I am, but I have to keep going strong, no matter what. Doesn't matter what condition I'm in. I have to hold no contact. I do. It's very serious. You know what I mean? It is. No matter how hard it is for the mind, it is hard. It's even tougher because most of the world is like them. The people you cut off from, most of the world is like them. They are. So, like, it's hard to avoid people like them to remind you of your family of origin. Because most of the world, a lot of the world is like them. I've learned. A lot of the world is. I don't care what anybody says. That's what I've discovered, But anyways, there's just a few hurdles of the family of origin that I still need to overcome. You know what I mean? Still need to overcome. Like I said, God knows it as well. I took everything that a psychopath could dish out possible from my first memories to when I went no contact. And even in the aftermath, trying to hold no contact, I feel like I've taken everything a full-blown psychopath could dish out, with religion backing him up against me, and feeling like God was backing him up against me. All that, you know what I mean? I was up against the biggest challenge, I feel like. God knows it as well. The biggest challenge. You know what I mean? You're not dealing with a real human. Most of my life, I didn't know what I was dealing with. I didn't know it was a psychopath. But if you never dealt with a psychopath and been boxed in a house with a psychopath, you don't know what I'm talking about. Once you're boxed in with a psychopath, oh, you know what I mean? It's like there's no way out of this. There's no way out of this. Even now, I'm like limping on. I'm like, even though I escaped, I'm like, how long can I even last? Even though I escaped, how long could I even last? I'm not even joking. God knows it. I'm like, well, I escaped, yeah, whoop-de-doo. But I took everything a psychopath could dish out. Think of the damage I took. I took everything a psychopath could dish out. Plus a second psychopath, my mother, a bully. You know what I mean? Two against one. Since my earliest memories, you know what I mean? I was up against that shit. No bullshit, you know what I mean? They were all I knew. You know what I mean? God knows. I saw more of them than I did the real world. I did. I saw more of the psychopaths than I did the real world outside of them. You know what I mean? God knows. That's why it's so strange that there's none of them around me. I got so used to them. You know, that's why it's so strange. God knows it's throwing me off. Nobody would treat me like shit. What? No one to oppress me? No one to control me? Tell me what to do every 2 seconds? What? I don't know, I just felt like making this video because it's a real struggle. I haven't quite overcome some of the family members in my mind. I haven't quite overcome them. God knows it. No matter how strong I think I've become mentally, I still haven't fully overcome some of the family members. The most brutal ones, for sure. The most brutal ones. Yep. The full-blown religious psychopath. That's the one I haven't fully overcome. Like I said, I feel like I took everything a psychopath could ever dish out against a target. Behind closed doors, cornered. I took everything a psychopath could dish out to somebody. Everything a psychopath dishes out. You know everything they do. Everything they could dish out, I took it. You know what I mean? I feel like I took the whole thing. Anything, the full brunt of it. Till there was nothing I could tolerate anymore. I took everything they could dish out. That's why I was like, I took more than Jesus did. I took more than he could take. That's why I said it, because I took a lot of what everything that I feel like imaginable. You know how many tactics they do. The psychopaths do. You know how many tactics they do if you've ever been the scapegoat. They do so many tactics, it's not even funny, to control you. So many tactics, you name it. So many tactics that if you escape, you're too injured to get very far, so they hook you right back in. You know what I mean? The Hoover. So many tactics to weaken you that if you manage to escape by some miracle you escaped a psychopath, you'll be so injured you can't make it on your own. They reel you back in. Get what I mean? It's serious warfare. It is. And I need to take it more serious. I do. I need to be stronger mentally. I do. If I am to succeed, I have to be stronger mentally than I have been. I do. I have to. I have to believe Jesus can do what he says he can do. Even if I don't fully believe it, I have to believe it. I do. You know, I don't have another choice. I don't. Because there's worse things than death that await me. There's worse things than death if I don't keep walking with God and Jesus. There's worse things. God knows it. You know, being a victim of a psychopath is way worse than death. Way worse than the instant death. Way worse. You know what I mean? You know, I've heard psychopaths saying that prison is nothing compared to living with a psychopath. Going to prison and living in prison, actual prison, is nothing compared to living in a home with a psychopath. I've heard psychopaths say that. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. You know, psychopaths making up their own rules as they go to control you. Plus using God. If they're, you know, if the psychopaths are smart, they'll use religion and God to control you even more. Like in my case, they will. It's no bullshit. It's no bullshit, you know. But anyways, I don't know. I just need to get stronger mentally. That's what I'm trying to say in this video. Somehow I have to get even stronger than I am. I do, because my mind is still struggling. It is. With the permanent cutoff. The permanent cutoff from everything I've ever known. My mind is struggling to cut off and keep going, create a new road. No matter how hard I've tried to, and I have tried to create a whole new path for me, a whole new road with God's help. My mind still struggles with the past of how it owned me, how they owned me for so long. My mind struggles with that. You know what I mean? To the point where my mind thinks I'm supposed to be owned. That's how much they own me. They're like, you're supposed to be owned by us. You're our pet. You know what I mean? Never to escape. No bullshit. So, can you see why I thought Jesus didn't hold a candle? He didn't hold a candle to what I went through. That's why it's incredible that Jesus knows what I've went through to this point. He could help me to this point. That's incredible to me. That's how much shit I went through against a psychopath. More than one psychopath. Without even knowing it. Plus religion to control. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's interesting. But God had a purpose to it all. He did. He's like, if I managed to survive it all, God had a purpose for it. If by some miracle I managed to survive it all, God had a purpose. And that's where we're at right now. By some miracle, I survived barely to this point. God has a purpose. Even though I don't think God can fully repair me, do nothing. At least I've helped him a little bit, maybe. Because I survived it for a while afterwards. You know what I mean? I escaped for a while before it was really over. You know what I mean? I swam into the ocean only to realize I can't reach the island at the end of the ocean. That's why I feel like I escaped the psychopaths into the ocean. And I kept swimming in the ocean. But I can't find that promised land at the end of the ocean. You know what I mean? And God knows, I'm like, man, I thought I'd be to the promised land by now. I did. You know, I thought so, you know. But since I'm not, I'm like, what the hell? But anyways, I'm sure I'll figure this out, you know what I mean? God's aware. You know what I mean? It's almost like he knows the state I'm in at all times. You know, I swear he does. So he knows how to help me. Even if I don't ask him for it, he knows how to help me. You know? I think so. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say for this video. Is that ownage that they own me for so long. It's hard for me to overcome that. It is. I was owned for so long by psychopath. Totally oppressed. Controlled. I was. In every way. Like no joking around. They're like, even if you escape under the rules of religion, you'll come back. Under the rules of the religion, you'll come back. Because we programmed you with the rules of religion to come back. No bullshit. That's a real statement. Families are forever in the cult. That's what they teach. Families are forever in the cult. There's nobody getting out. So me getting out is a fucking miracle to this point. They preach family is forever. You know, think of the advantage the psychopath has in a cult like that. Families are forever. You can't escape a psychopath even if you tried. The programming is in you. Families are forever even with a psychopath. Get what I mean? That's the challenge I have of separating. Not just what the psychopath did in the home to control me, but what the cult taught as well. I have to overcome what the cult taught. You get what I mean? It's a fucking big challenge. Especially in these parts. Most of the people around me still think the cult is legit. I'm not even joking. A lot of people around me living in this area still think the cult is legit. Still do. That's another challenge. They're like, what's wrong with you? We're still in the religion of God. They still think it's God's religion. I'm not joking. With full confidence, they think they're in God's religion. Still, it isn't. No bullshit. No bullshit. But anyways, so I hope God knows what he's doing. That's why it's critical that Jesus suffered my entire life, knows exactly what I went through, and is a better man than I am, and a better person than anyone I've come across. It's critical that Jesus is legit through and through. It's critical. You see what I mean? I have to trust someone that is actually honorable for real, trustworthy for real. Jesus has to be what they say he is, through and through. He does. No exceptions, no nothing. No bullshit. Not being a sellout like I thought Jesus was most of my life. I thought Jesus sold out for business. To be a businessman of a cult, I thought Jesus sold out. Forgot about the children. I did. That's what I thought most of my life. That's another challenge of me. Yeah. But anyways, if you ever grew up in a cult of any kind, I understand. Any cult of any kind, and they do all the cult tactics, that they describe in the BITE model: behavior control, information control, thought control, emotional control. If they follow every definition of that, you're in a cult. That's how you tell. The BITE model. That's what I did, to double enforce that I was in a cult. They were doing the BITE model to control people. See why I'm serious about if the Christians are using stuff to control me? See why I'm serious about it? I've been controlled in a cult. It's no bullshit. It's serious shit. God knows it. That's why I have to be sure for sure that the scripture I'm reading is from God. He's telling me to read. God wants me to read it himself at that time. You know what I mean? That's why I have to be sure about that shit. Usually God's been, if I'm ready for something, God will present it in some way if I'm ready for it. That's what I've learned. He is about timing with me. You know what I mean? Like I said, whoever's been helping me is super smart, like so smart. I'm like, the cult Jesus isn't this smart. I didn't think the cult Jesus was this smart. So, whoever's helping me is smarter than the cult Jesus. You know what I mean? So it probably is the legit Jesus. It is probably. Like, no bullshit. But anyways, God knows this fight. I've been fighting mentally for a while. All sorts of things. Trying to stop me from progressing, improving. You know what I mean? Doing anything to help God. Anything to help God. Anything. Even a video talking trash about God to help God. You know what I mean? Talking against the cult God to help God. Even that. You know what I mean? Because God knows a lot of people's perception of God got skewed big time. Especially if they got, if they grew up in a cult where they taught God incorrectly. That's what I'll say. They taught God incorrectly. They taught an incorrect God. That's what I'll say. God knows that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So when I'm talking against God, I may not even be talking against the real God. And God knows that as well. When I'm talking trash about the cult God. You know what I mean? Which is not even probably even close to Jesus himself. Get what I mean? When I'm talking trash about Jesus, I think I'm talking trash about the cult Jesus. You know what I mean? Which is incorrect. Get what I mean? So like me talking trash, it may not even be God knows it. I'm not even thinking it's the real him. You know what I mean? He knows my perception of God got so skewed that I'm talking trash about a God that doesn't even exist. I'm talking trash about a Jesus that doesn't even exist. Get what I mean? No bullshit. How's that for crazy shit? When I'm talking bad about God, I'm talking about a cult god that doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? That's the crazy shit, I know. That's why untangling everything and getting things right has been a fucking journey. It's been a fucking journey, to say the least. To say the least. But anyways, that's all I want to make a video about. Because it's a real thing. I'm fighting. I'm fighting mentally. It's almost like they're attacking me mentally. It is. The oppressors of my past, that's what it is. When people say psychic attacks, I think that's what I'm dealing with. A psychic attack by a psychopath. I think I'm dealing with that. I am. I think this is what it is. They lost control of me, so they're trying to get to me psychically. That's what it feels like. It does. When other survivors talk about that, now I know what they're talking about fully. They're not just bullshitting. The psychic attacks really do keep coming. It's like they're trying to hoover you psychically. In an energetic realm, they're trying to hoover you. You know what I mean? You're no contact in every other way, so they're trying to psychically get to you. You know what I mean? This is serious warfare now. It is. This is serious warfare. And sometimes I get too relaxed about the warfare. I'm like, God will take care of me. God will take care of me no matter what. And he has so far, but I've been too relaxed about the warfare. It's serious shit. It is. They haven't given up on hoovering stuff. You know what I mean? I can tell. They haven't. They want me enslaved again. It's no bullshit. They want me enslaved again. And they programmed me to come back and be enslaved. They programmed me over all those years. They did. With the help of the cult, the psychopath was able to use it to help to control me. No bullshit. It's serious shit. I thought the warfare would get easier once I escaped. It really hasn't. It really hasn't gotten easier after I escaped. It's still been a real mental fight. It has. It's been a real mental fight even still. I've been in no contact for like 4 or 5 years. From everybody, it's still a mental fight. It's like they're still trying to psychically get to me. They're like, oh, he escaped. He actually escaped. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. We need the scapegoat. He needs to come back. We can't survive without a scapegoat, which is true. They can't. They need to blame somebody. They have to have a scapegoat. Psychopaths have to have a scapegoat. They have to. They have to. They have to dish their shit out on somebody else. They do. If the scapegoat escapes for a long period of time, they can't get the scapegoat back. They have to get. They have to make a new scapegoat with probably one of the enablers. They make one of the enablers a scapegoat. They probably made one of my sisters the scapegoat now. My younger sister, they probably made the new scapegoat. I'm not even joking. I was like, if I was never born, my younger sister would be the scapegoat. 100%. So everything I was taking, would have been dished out to my younger sister. 100%. If I wasn't there. That's what I always thought. It's true. I was taking the hits for my younger sibling, in my opinion. If I wasn't taking the onslaught from the psychopath parents 24/7, it would have been dished out at my younger sister. I know it. My older sister was already designated the golden child. They needed a scapegoat. If I wasn't born, my younger sister would have been the scapegoat. So I'm like, so I always wondered if they made her the new scapegoat. I wonder. But oh well. She's strong enough by now to take it the onslaught. She's strong enough, you know what I mean? So, but anyways, I just realized that because it's hard. Like they were all you knew mostly. They were the family unit. They were all you knew mostly. It's hard to separate from that and survive outside of that. It is. I didn't know how challenging it would be. It's harder than I thought to cut off from all family permanently and keep going. and never look back. Never look back. It's harder than I thought it'd be. It is. God knows this has been a real struggle. It's one of the struggles. It's one of the reasons I bitch at God. Because I'm permanently cut off from family. I can't go back. I'm like, it bothers me. I can't go back. You know what I mean? It bothers my brain. My brain can't handle that. I can't go back to my family unit ever again. If they were to die tonight, for real die, I wouldn't even know about it. I wouldn't even know about it. They would have their whole funeral. I wouldn't even know about it. That's how how serious my no contact is. If they were to die tonight, anybody in my family were to die tonight, there's nobody that would know how to reach me to tell me that they died. Their whole funeral would happen without me even knowing about the funeral. That's how crazy this is. You know, that's what Jesus was saying. Let the dead bury the dead. That's what I'm doing. I won't even know if they die. I won't even know. God knows it. Following Jesus is serious shit. It's serious shit. Leave everything you ever knew behind. If they die, you don't even know it. If they die tonight, you don't even know it. And no one knows where you are to tell you that they died. Or when the funeral is, or that there even is a funeral. They could have all died for real. I wouldn't even know it. That's how serious my no contact has been. It's no bullshit. It's no fucking around. It's no fucking around. Like I said, me and God knew it was life or death. At least I did, to get the hell away permanently. Where they couldn't even say a word at me anymore. Not a word. He could say to me. Not a word. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's all I want to say. It's just to get me stronger. Toughen me up, keep pressing forward. Just say fuck it. You know what I mean? It's me and Jesus or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm really seeing how strong Jesus is. I am. And he's making me stronger as well. He's like, all these mental struggles, we're going to get you stronger mentally. That's the next challenge on this road. We're going to get your mind strong. So you don't have this mental fight of your past haunting you. That controlled you. You don't have this fight anymore. That's what Jesus is trying to do for me. It is. I feel like he's like, your mind is the next challenge. You must harden your mind. No bullshit. I will literally have the strongest mind. You know what I mean? Maybe. But it's so crazy. No matter how hard I've tried, how strong I've become, I'm still struggling to the point where I have to find a way to get stronger. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. It's like Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. He's trying to figure out how to ascend to the next level. That's what I'm doing. How do I ascend stronger? How do I ascend to the next level? How do I get past this, overcome all this mentally? How do I ascend above this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know what I mean? I have to figure it out. I have to ascend, or I won't make it. You know what I mean? I don't have a choice. You know what I mean? In my opinion. But anyways, I gotta get going. But I gotta get prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow always comes. Remember that. Tomorrow always comes. Don't you forget about that. No matter where you are on the planet, tomorrow always comes. So, anyways, that's all I want to say for this video. I'm not sure if I'll post it or not, but it's seriously, it's rough. Even still, the permanent cutoff from family is rough for the mind.